Welcome to the 3BWaxing show. Today's topic is waxing at home, tips for waxing at home. So I'm going to recap yesterday what we talked about what you need. I'm putting in the title, which is tips for waxing at home. Pinning it. Hey Shades of Beauty Aesthetics, welcome to the 3BWaxing show. Hey Carla Roberts, welcome to the 3BWaxing show. So that's what we're talking about today. I have my laptop here too because I have some things on here that I want to share with in relation to waxing at home. So that's why I have the laptop today. So welcome to the 3BWaxing show. Stay positive. How are you doing? How's everyone doing? Hey Dimbo. Welcome back to the 3BWaxing show. Hey Queen First Love Yourself. Welcome back to the 3BWaxing show. How are you? Let's have my laptop here. And I do have the stuff that we're going to talk about, what you need again, because we're going to recap yesterday. And then I also want to share what I have on here. All right. So let me find what I sent out. So yesterday, it was actually quite a long 3BWaxing show. It was just about what you need. And I do want to do a little recap of that. For those of you who are waxing at home or thinking about waxing at home, let me just get comfortable here. Okay, so I'm going to introduce the show and then we're going to talk about waxing at home. So welcome to the 3BWaxing show. Welcome to the 3BWaxing show. And so you remember, welcome to the 3BWaxing show. I am Becca, a pro waxer, skin therapist, and licensed esthetician since 2010. I help people remove unwanted hair, acne, discoloration, and ingrowns through full body waxing, chemical peels, facials, and products. I have my own product line, which is my exfoliating pads. I have been sold all over the US, the UK, Canada, and the UAE. And they're going to be back in stock tomorrow. So you can get the acne and ingrown pads and the fruit enzyme pads tomorrow. They're chemical exfoliants and they're good for sensitive skin. So they'll be back in stock. That's what I've been working on today as well, is basically putting everything together and wrapping everything up. I also help estheticians start their own product lines, start their own salon suite, attract clients, and improve their waxing technique through my classes, courses, and the 3BWaxing show. I go live Wednesday through Fridays now at around 3:26 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to know when I go live about waxing, you can join the Wax Lounge. If you want to know when I go live about skincare and skincare ingredients, you can join the lab. And then if you want to know when I go live about, being a professional, aesthetics, and starting your own product line, you can join the salon tea. Okay. So, recapping. Yesterday, I'll totally recap. So, for those of you who are new, I have a salon in Orange County where I do waxing. And I've been shut down since March because of the pandemic. And California actually has the go-ahead to go, but I'm waiting a little bit because of my health and also my clients' health. I'm just really conscious about that. And when we got shut down in March, I started doing Wax With Me calls, which is where I would teach people how to wax themselves at home or teach their partner how to wax them at home. It was going really well. And one of the questions that I've gotten a lot when I started posting about it is, what do I need to wax? Like, what are some things that I need to wax? So I made a sheet of that, which you can just DM me the word list and I can send it to you. But I also wanted to explain some of the things that you need. So that's what I talked about yesterday. And to recap, what that was is you need a wax pot. Someone asked yesterday, where do you go to get a wax pot? Any recommendations? You just need a small one. I used to recommend one on Amazon, but they upped their price, and you can just find so many on Amazon that are just small and good enough for what you need. You also need wax, and I recommend using hard wax. Hard wax is gentle on the skin. It's you know, easy as far as cleaning up. It's not as messy. It's not going to leave your skin sticky. This is what I use in the salon. I use a few different hard waxes, but it's a good one that I've been using since I was in school. And I didn't know originally that you could get this brand of hard wax if you weren't a professional. So you can. It's on Amazon. And they're little beads. And with this wax, you just apply it, let it harden, and then you rip it off. You don't need any strips with this. So you need your wax pot, you need your wax, and then you are going to need your sticks. And then yesterday we went over the different types of sticks. I had a few different small sticks, but what you really will need for everything is your face sticks and then your body sticks. So these are what you'll need as far as sticks. And then as you get better at, you know, waxing yourself and get more comfortable with the wax, you can start cutting them in half to save you on the cost of the sticks. And then you will need body powder, just regular baby powder if you have it, for your underarms and Brazilian area to grab any moisture. And then if you're sweating while you're waxing, you're going to want to use some body powder as well. Let's see, I talked about how you can have oil. It's optional if you want to put it on beforehand to, you know, make the skin less dry. Because dry skin does cause the wax to break and causes hair to break. So, well, dry hair causes hair to break, but dry skin can cause the wax to break. So you may want oil. And then I talked about needing an after cream. So you can do like a moisturizer that has aloe in it or acai, or just straight aloe, anything that'll just calm your skin afterwards. And then you want to have the mindset, is what I talked about as well, because it is painful. Like, yes, using hard wax is less painful than soft, in my professional opinion, but it's still painful. So you may want to like mentally prepare for it. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this myself, da 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 da. And then I didn't add this to the list, but I talked about it a lot. You can always do a call with me where I teach you how to wax yourself. So it's a lot easier. You know, I see people in my comments on one of my posts that I did. I reposted a tweet about waxing, and people were like, oh, you know, I don't know how to do this, I don't do that. Well, that's the whole point of the calls, is to help you with that. So once you got it, you learn it, and you're good to go. So that's a recap. I know that was kind of fast, but that's a recap of what you need to wax yourself at home. I didn't bring this up yesterday, but now that I'm thinking about it, you may want to add this to your list, is a mirror. So you may need a mirror just to see everything, especially if you're doing your Brazilian or the back of your thighs or legs. And this can be a mirror that's hanging up on the wall, or, you know, a personal mirror that you can put on the floor. But you may need a mirror, depending on, you know, how well you can see, how you can bend over, and that kind of thing. And then what you're waxing. You'll probably need a mirror for your brows too. So I didn't say that yesterday, and I don't think that's on the list that I have, but that is something that you will need, is a mirror. Okay? So any questions about what you need for waxing at home? If there's any questions, let me know. And then any questions about waxing at home, let me know. Because I'm going to go off of some tips that I gave earlier yesterday. And then if you have questions, I'll answer. So a young lady in high school reached out to me about waxing at home because she is doing an article about it in her school project or class. She's in journalism. Yeah, she's doing it for her school newspaper. And she asked me some questions about waxing at home. So I thought, it'd be good to just bring them up here and give you the tips that I gave her for her school project. So, some tips for waxing at home. This was for a high school paper, so I said obviously get consent, if you're under 18. If you come in to get waxed from me in the salon, if you're under 18, you have to have a parent sign that it's okay for you to get waxed. So when I am back open, that is what I do. And what I will be doing now, since, things are different when I go back to the salon to wax you guys, is that I am now going to have a consultation form that's online. So it'll ask you the same questions like, are you taking Accutane? Are you exfoliating? When was your last wax? Have you done laser? Those kind of questions. But it also have questions about COVID. So I have combined all those so that way you don't even have to touch a pen or a paper or a clipboard or anything when you do come in, when I do open back up. I don't exactly know how I'm going to do it as far as like if you book the appointment, I'll send you the information or I'll have the link just there for you. But that is what is going to happen once I reopen again. So what will be going on? So, yeah, that's just a side note. So one of the things I said as my advice was I recommend using hard wax because it's gentle on the skin, like I said, and it's best to use at home for the least amount of mess. One thing I mentioned yesterday was that when you drop hard wax on the floor, I feel like it's easier to clean up than soft wax. And if you drop it, you just want to let it sit and harden and not mess with it until it's completely hard so you can just pick it off. Because what it'll do is it'll harden and it'll like break. So that way when you go to take it off the ground, it's basically just breaking off the ground. So that is one thing, or one positive thing about hard wax. There's a lot of positive things about hard wax, but that's one of them. Another thing of advice I had was when learning to apply strips, use a lot of pressure. This will coat the hair with the wax and help removal of the hair be more efficient. So when you are applying wax, use a lot of pressure when you're doing it. I say this when I'm teaching people how to wax, when I'm teaching estheticians how to wax. You'll hurt the client, or you'll break the stick before you hurt the client. We don't want to hurt the client. So remember that you almost can't do too much pressure when you're applying your strips. You want it so that it gets fully into the hair. You want a good amount of pressure. That's why yesterday I mentioned these other sticks that I have that you can use for your face. But I'm not crazy about them because they could break easily when you use a lot of pressure. So they could just snap. So that's the second one. The third one I said was when learning to apply, oh no, I said that one already. The next one I did, I guess is the fourth one. The first one was the consent. The second one was recommend using hard wax. The third one was applying the strip with a lot of pressure. The fourth one is apply the wax the direction of the hair, let it dry, and then pull in the opposite direction. We went over this in detail a lot yesterday. We did a lot yesterday. Yesterday was a jam-packed show. But you do want to go the direction of the hair and then pull when you're doing your initial strips. And then after applying a strip of wax and pulling it, you want to apply pressure to that spot. It's going to help it hurt less. So apply pressure and it'll hurt less. Another question she asked me was, what are some tips of not to do when waxing at home? And what I said was, you don't want to apply the hard wax when it is the consistency of water or anything runny. You want the consistency of hard wax to be a batter consistency, and it's going to be the right temperature for your skin. Now, for face waxing, I like to have my temperature of my wax warmer when I wax my clients, so it's a little bit more liquidy, because a lot of times hairs on the face can be fine and need that hard wax, and also, or they need that hot wax. And then also, because it's a smaller amount of wax on the stick, it dries faster. So you need it to be, or it cools faster, so you need it to be warmer. The other one, so I said make sure like the temperature is good, and you do definitely want to do a temperature test on your wrist if you're doing this at home to see if the temperature is good. This is going to prevent, redness or burning or bruising of the skin. And then the other piece of advice I gave for this school paper that can also help you if you're waxing at home is, do not rush the process. Take your time. Make it special, like you're going to the salon. So put on candles, put some music on, your favorite podcast, your favorite YouTube. You can even look up some of the YouTubes I have that go into waxing so you can follow along. But do that, and then take your time I recommend doing smaller strips at a time so you can get the hang of it, because sometimes you can be going so fast that you're pulling the hair incorrectly. Like if you apply the wax and you do not pull close to the skin, then you can rip the hairs improperly, causing ingrowns. When you are pulling strips, you want it to be as parallel and close to the skin as possible. So, take your time. Take your time, and you should have good results. So I'm going to put the questions on. If you have any questions about waxing at home. The last question she asked me was, I guess I didn't ask her if she wanted, well, I wasn't planning on mentioning it, but side note. Has anything affected my business during COVID? And obviously I closed down the salon, but I'm serving my clients, doing these video calls and waxing calls in the meantime. And I sent out an email today, and I don't know when I will be opening up the salon again. I am looking at places, looking online to see what people are offering, but it is a safety thing. Just because numbers have gone down does not mean it's still completely safe. So I don't know when I'll be opening up. Yeah, those are the questions, or those are some tips to help you with waxing at home. If you have questions, let me know. I was thinking about going to this website that has common questions that are Googled for waxing at home. And I've done this before on the show, but just about underarm waxing. So I was thinking about doing it for waxing at home. So I put waxing at home into the website. And let's see what it says. Okay, so they have a few questions here. But I'll just go through a few of them because I feel like I've talked about a lot of this, but some of them maybe I haven't. Some of them are kind of like, okay, that's redundant. So one of the questions is, can we do waxing at home? So if you would have like asked me this in January, I would be like, you know, it's best to go to professional, which I still believe that. I still believe that it is best to get waxed from a professional. Someone who's been waxing a long time. I have been waxing for a very long time. And not even just that, I've waxed a lot of people. And a lot of people with different hair types. And so I do have the knowledge and the experience of waxing properly and knowing when something is going to pull up a lot of hair, when it's not. I just have seen a lot, so I know. And because I've been waxing so often myself and other people, I know how to make it hurt less. But because of the pandemic and what's been going on, you know, things had to change. I had to obviously change my business, you know, structure and model and like, what am I going to focus on? And so, you know, now I say, yes, you can do it at home. Be careful, watch tutorials, book a call with me, and I'll do it with you. The client that I had, I posted a review from her. She gave me permission to post a review, but I taught her partner how to wax her, and it went really well. But I also was like guiding them through the whole process, telling her like, oh, hold your hand here. He needs to press down here. Like, I was like coaching them through the whole thing, and it helped a lot. And so they were able to continue to do that. And while it's great, it's obviously not a professional wax. So, I mean, I understand that, and they understand that. But you can do it at home. And that's why I have these resources available. I think one thing that I've definitely heard estheticians talk about, and I might have had this feeling before, is that if I teach people how to wax themselves at home, they won't want to come in to get waxed. And I definitely think I had that feeling, because even last year my business coach was like, you know, with shout out to King Ashley Ann, she's on Instagram, but she was like, oh, I see you, you know, selling waxing supplies. And I didn't really see myself doing that. And mostly I think it's because I was like, oh, you know, I want people to come to me. But there's so many people out there. Some people, you know, want to do it themselves. Some people rather go to someone. And that's been apparent because of what's happening. Some people are waxing home. Some people are just waiting. So, you know, And just because someone can do something at home doesn't mean they want to. And I think about my own self. I can do my own nails at home, which I've been doing, but I like to get them done. And it's the same with waxing. So for the estheticians out there, because I do, teach estheticians, there is so much out there. There's so many people out there, and you can't feel like, oh, because I offer this, no one's going to come to me. Or if I offer, people how to do their own facial at home, I will lose business in my own practice. And that's not true at all. And it's really beneficial, actually, to offer things outside. So like, I have found that offering waxing services, like the online waxing classes and stuff, has been very beneficial for people who cannot come in, whose salons closed, whether they're my clients or they're in another state. But it's another way to serve your client when things get tough. So I'm in some esthetician groups, and they have been doing like facials that they send to their clients, like a packet and the whole thing. And it's a good way to keep people on track during this time. When I teach estheticians, like, one of my big things is I help a lot of estheticians and non-estheticians start their own product line. And it's beneficial to the client because they can keep up with their routine and not just digress from the progress they're making. I have the exfoliating pads, and it's a blessing because people may not be able to get in to get wax right now, but they can stay on top of their exfoliating and preventing ingrowns and preventing dark spots, and using it on their face because they're not getting facials or chemical peels. So that's a good way to think about it. And I know this was a question of just about waxing, like, can you wax at home? But I wanted to, go off on that because I think it's important. Okay. Is waxing at home worth it? Is one of the questions asked. And it depends, I would say, from a esthetician standpoint. If you're gonna put in the time to do it, so say you are a person who goes and gets wax, like say you come in to get wax from me or somebody, and it's been closed where you are, or you just don't trust to go back to the salons because of being exposed to everything of what's going on, then investing in a wax pot, wax, and all this stuff, it is pricey. Like, I'm saying you're spending around like $100, and then you have to learn it as well. So you can't just buy it, and so you have to learn it, which I say it's $100 including doing a call with me, because calls with me are $47. It's worth it if you do all that. So if you get the proper wax, if you get the proper amount of the proper sticks, you do a call to like figure out how to correctly apply the wax, and then you keep up with it. So you do it one time, and then you do it 4 weeks later or 3 weeks later to keep up with it and get better, and you continue to do it until like everything goes back to normal, or until you feel comfortable. Because even if you learn it and just do it one time, I think it's worth it because you know how to do it when things hit the fan. basically. So say you bought all the stuff, you learned how to do it, and you wind up going back to the salon after your first time doing your own waxing. You're like, oh, I can go back. Now you know how to do it, just in case something happens. In case you're on vacation and you happen to need a wax real quick, you can do it. I think it's just a good skill. Of course, you know, like I said, it's great to go to a professional, but these times are weird. So is it worth it? Yes. If you continue to practice, and even if you just do it one time, you're satisfied with it one time of like, oh, this is a at-home wax, and it's okay. It's not professional, but it's all right. I think it's worth it. So one of the questions here is sugar waxing at home safe? Yes, it is. I don't teach sugar waxing. Or sugaring is basically what they're saying. And I don't teach waxing with soft wax. I know how to wax with soft wax, but like I said, it's more beneficial to use hard wax. And that's what I use in the salon. So, is waxing at home effective? I think if you are booking, even if you book like 3 calls with me, you should have it down packed. You're Brazilian for sure. If you did 3 calls, even if you did 1, depending on how fast you learn. So it just depends on how you want to learn, how you want to jump into it all. Another question they ask is waxing at home a good idea? If you have a waxer teaching you, yes, it is. Is waxing at home safe? We talked about that earlier. You want to make sure you're doing the test on your arm to make sure that the temperature is good, and you want the consistency of the wax to be batter-like so it won't burn you when it goes onto your skin. They asked what to know about waxing at home. Basically, this whole video answers that. Maybe I'll make that the top. I won't make that the video name. They asked, what do you need for waxing at home? We went over it. What to do before waxing at home. So I did say how you need to get the supplies. You need to mentally prepare your mind for waxing yourself. You need to book a call with me because it's going to help you. And you need to exfoliate. So before you wax, so say you plan on waxing next Friday, then you need to exfoliate 3 to 4 times in between that area. Preferably chemical exfoliation because it's stronger, good for sensitive skin. It's going to help you. So even if you use the pads 2 nights before you wax yourself, you're going to get a better wax than if you hadn't. And I say exfoliate a week before your wax, but you really should be exfoliating continuously for the benefits of your skin and, and for your waxes. So you should be doing it more often, but say you haven't been exfoliating and you're like, hey, I need to exfoliate, then start thinking about that a week before you decide to wax yourself. Another question is, it says how to do waxing at home. Talked a little bit about that. You can just book a call for if you need specific questions. Let's see. Another question is waxing at home, or another thing that's written is waxing at home with wax strips. And I mentioned earlier with the hard wax, you do not need strips. The wax becomes the strip. So you don't need to apply any muslin or cloth to the top of it, this is all you need. This basically your wax pot and a stick. I gave you some other things you need to help you, but you really just need the wax. You don't need any other strips. And that's what's great about it too, is because you don't need a lot of stuff. So even if you were like, hey, I need to travel with my wax pot, you don't need to have the cloth where you need to cut it and make sure it's the proper size. Because say you were using soft wax, then you would be like, okay, I'm going to do a strip on my stomach. Then you need to cut a piece of cloth to go onto your stomach. So it's a lot more steps with the soft wax. And also waxing's different. But I know that hard wax, well, I'm really good at hard wax, but I know that I can teach someone really well on hard wax and do well. And there's less likely for skin breaking or damaging of the skin. Someone put at home waxing kit near me. I just recommend Amazon. There's probably some at Sally's, but you know, Amazon is where you can go. Someone asked how to do waxing at home without pain. I mean, you can take ibuprofen. That'll help. If you need to take a shot, let's help people. I've seen it all basically because people have come in, been like, oh, I took like 4 or 5 shots. Some people said they smoked. From people who said they smoked and wax, they said that it's almost not better. They actually can feel the pain more. So smoking may not be helpful with reducing the wax pain. Someone said or asked, can you wax at home without a wax heater? I'm not going to recommend you use like a crock pot or something like that. Get a regular wax pot. Some have temperatures, like my professional one has like 90 degrees Celsius, 70 degrees Celsius, 50, so it's 30. But some have just high, medium, low. Get something like that. Don't just use your crock pot, you know, get something that's meant for waxing or for wax. Waxing at home for beginners is another question that came up. If you're totally new to waxing and don't know, I've had a few people reach out to me for that. You can get the list I created. You can DM me lists, and I'll send you that link to the list that I made that tells you what you need. And then it also has an auto responder of emails with information helping you with waxing and why it's beneficial. There's also an offer for an underarm wax training class that I have that teaches you how to wax your underarms at home. And then there's the option of doing a call with me. So there's so many ways for you to start waxing and get comfortable waxing at home. So there really is no reason to be worried about it because it's all step by step. And just like this 3BWaxing show, I over explain a lot of things, so I almost answer every question you could possibly have. One of the questions is, does waxing come in beads? These come in beads. Some of them come in blocks. Just make sure it says hard wax. I don't mean, this one doesn't actually say hard wax. But it does have the no strip sign on it. And if you see it in beads, it's hard wax. These are like little beads. Let's see. waxing at home, tips and tricks. That's probably another 3BWaxing show that I could do. And then also the tips and tricks depend on you. So I go more into that if you did a call with me, a wax with me call. And to book those, you can go to 3BWaxing.com, or you can click the link in my bio on Instagram at 3BWaxing and click the skin improvement call or wax with me call. So it's named skin improvement call, and those are $47. Waxing at home versus salon. I mean, we talked about that today. There's a question about cold waxing at home. So you want this wax to be warm. You don't want it to be cold. Or it's not going to spread. It says one of the questions is waxing at home on dry skin. You definitely want to moisturize. You can have breakage of the wax if your skin is really dry. So that's when you may want to bring in the oil before you wax. So put on some, say you're waxing your legs and they're super dry. A week before, start moisturizing, exfoliating, moisturizing, and then with a lotion. And then use an oil before you wax, and then wipe it a little bit off because you don't want it to be too slick where the wax just slides off. You want a good medium balance. That's something you get with experience. And say it's too oily, just start wiping some off, and then you want to apply. And then one thing about moisturizing at home with lotion, try to go towards paraben-free lotions. It's going to be really good for your skin as far as clogging the pores that are open, or after they've been waxed, after your skin's been waxed. So that is pretty much all I have for those of you who have joined or joining. I haven't greeted everyone, so I do apologize, but welcome to the 3BWaxing Show. Welcome to the 3BWaxing Show. And so you remember, welcome to the 3BWaxing Show. I am Becca, your pro waxer, skin therapist, and licensed esthetician since 2010. I help people remove unwanted hair, acne, discoloration, ingrowth through full body waxing, chemical peels, facials, and products. My own product line, which has been sold all over the US, the UK, Canada, and the UAE. That's the acne and ingrown pads and the fruit enzyme pads. They are chemical exfoliants, so they are great for sensitive skin. And there are 40 pads in a jar, and they're $40. And you can get them at 3BWaxing.com, 3BWaxing.com, 3BWaxing.com. And they'll be in stock tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. And I have some stuff to finish tonight, but they'll be there. And then also I help people I help estheticians, non-estheticians, massage therapists start their own product line, start their own salon suite, attract clients, and improve their waxing technique. I've been the regional trainer for a large waxing franchise and the lead esthetician at a high-end gym in Newport Beach. And I do the 3BWaxing Show Wednesday through Fridays. And the topics are different. So today's waxing. You can join the Wax Lounge to know when I go on about waxing. You can join the lab to know when I go live about products and skincare ingredients. And then you can join the Salon Tea to know when I go live about teaching about starting your product line and teaching estheticians. So those are the different email lists that I have that you can join for information. And then if you want the list of what you need to wax yourself at home, just DM me lists and I'll send that over to you. And then I will leave this live up. It's pretty long. It has a lot of information. And basically the list is summarizing the things you need. So if you don't want to sit through, which I do think is valuable to sit through the information because I get to explain everything. But if you just want it written out for you, then you can get that list and you'll know what you need to wax yourself at home. And then after you get the list, you'll get some emails from me, like, helping you out with information on waxing yourself at home. And then if you do want to book a call with me, there's that option. But yeah, I think we got through some of the popular questions about waxing at home. I mean, there's quite a bit, but we got through most of the popular questions. So, you know, with this, you should be able to collect all the stuff you need for waxing. Also with this video, you should be able to decide if it's for you. If you want to spend the time on waxing yourself or going through this whole process of doing it, I'm here for you. So I'll help you with whatever you need, like the list, coaching you through it. You know, I'm here for you. So that's all I got. That is all I got. So that is it. I'm gonna go eat my chicken because I just made baked chicken. But I hope this is valuable to you and that you have a good time waxing yourself. And remember, it's fun, but also mentally prepare yourself. And it is a feeling of accomplishment when you do wax yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, I did it myself. I started, I think it was 15 or 16, but I am a ballerina because I don't think you ever stop being a ballerina. And I used to wax my underarms for ballet class, right before going to ballet class. And I used to do it with like Sally Hansen, the thing that goes into the microwave. But I felt so accomplished when I got really good at it because it helped me a lot. It helped me because, you know, shaving causes dark spots or darkness under the arms, and it does ingrown hairs, razor bumps, and all that. And so I was able to minimize a lot of that by waxing myself. And this is when I was really young and I was just trying it. I specifically remember my best friend at the time watching me in the bathroom, like, oh, I need to do this. And I would just rip them, and then I would look at the hairs afterwards, which is kind of weird, but, you know, it's something I did. And, you know, now I've grown an entire career out of all of that just from waxing my underarms. But it's a good accomplishment. Like, feel accomplished when you can do stuff for yourself. Even if you are like, hey, I want to learn how to wax myself, but I am going to get it done. It's good to know. So hope that was valuable for you. This is a very long show, but I do hope this provided value. So I plan on being on tomorrow at 3:26 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know if I'll probably talk a little bit about waxing at home, but I may talk more about the pads just because they will be on, they will be available. So, you know, might be talking about that depending on what you guys want to know about. I kind of get my questions and the topics based off of comments on posts and things I get emailed. So yeah, that's what I got. Hope you have a fabulous evening. Stay safe, you know, wash your hands, do the extra precautions, and take care of your mental health. And take care of your mental health, whatever that looks like for you. So I'll share, for me, it is continuing to work because I am fully quarantined, besides, you know, sending out pads and, you know, doing that kind of stuff. But what it looks like for me is working on myself, eating healthy. You guys see that I've been posting on my stories my green drinks that I've been making. I've been making them pretty much every day and perfecting it. Like, I just tried one with almond milk. Hey, Nicole. Welcome to the 3BWaxing show. Good to see you, girl. I was just saying how, you know, what my way of dealing with working on my mental health is eating better. And I've been posting my green drinks. And I recently just started almond milk and, or adding almond milk, because I hadn't really ever, I'm not a milk person, and I just started with milk. And so, you know, getting better at taking care of myself is something that I'm doing through this whole process to mentally, you know, stay sane. Hey, Demi Muse, welcome back. Welcome back to the 3BWaxing show. Good to see you. So that's just what I'm doing to take care of myself. So, and I hope that you all are taking care of yourselves and doing whatever you need to do to, you know, stay mentally okay. Because it's a lot. It's a lot to have social media and have it always having news, whether it's good or bad. It's just a lot, because they didn't really have that 20 years ago of all this news coming to us. So that's all I got for you. Have a good rest of the day, and I will be on tomorrow, whether it be about waxing at home or pads. I haven't decided, because I gotta figure out what people want the most. Yeah, have a good rest of the day.